A Shalom Akim, Shalom, Shalom, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Havashai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, that honors the apostles and elders, great Muslim, of teachers his truth. Salutations to the sincere Akim and Akwathim and listen. May the blessing of election be upon your house. My name is Brother Raquai. I'm back in here with another quick and Lord's will, as always, an edifying lesson. And for today's lesson, I kind of just wanted to read through a little bit of a nugget that I found in one of my books here, known as Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa. And it's basically just going into some of the Israelite customs that was found in this country called Guinea, right? So Guinea is, let me just pull it up right here for brothers who may not know. Let me just get it. So it says here, Guinea is a country in Western Africa, bordered on the west by the Atlantic Ocean. It is known for Mount Nimba, strict nature reserves. The reserve protects forested mountain range rich in native plants and animals, including chimpanzees and toads. On the coast, capital city is Conakry, is the home to the modern Grand Mosque and the National Museum with its original artifacts, right? So its official language is French, right? So I came across this little nugget I kind of just wanted to read here in one of my books. This is Hebrew Heritage of Black Africa, and one of the customs they found amongst basically they're Israelites, right? And they were they were keeping a number of customs within their spirit, right? So this is page 40 in my book here. So I'm just going to read a little bit of it, and Lord's will, as always, this will be edifying, right? So it says the observations of J. Layton Wilson are especially worthy of our attention for any study of this region. The reason is because he was a missionary in the Guinean area for about 18 years. His book, Western Africa, Its History, Condition, and Prospects, was published in 1856 before Christianity had an opportunity to make an impact in the culture and religion of the region. The preface of his book, he says that a great body of the book, is the result of my observation and knowledge, right? So essentially, he was a missionary that spent a considerable amount of time amongst the natives of this region, right? So here, this is what he observed. He records in his book that there are many obvious traces of Judaism. Well, really and truly, it's Israelite customs. So when you go into the books of the laws of Moses, those are the customs that were given to the children of Israel, right? But just to clarify that, right? It says both in northern and southern Guinea. He says further that the northern Guinea paganism and Judaism are united. It says he then explains that in the northern region, the practice of Judaism is prominently developed. Some of the leading features of which are circumcision, the division of 12 tribes into separate families, and very frequently the number 12, blood sacrifices with the sprinkling of blood upon the altars and doorposts, the other customs he classified of Israelite origin, right? So that's just one of the things that stuck out. And I kind of just wanted to do a lesson on it, considering since we're in the time of Passover, right? Because, people read this and might be wondering, where did these customs come from, right? Where did they get the understanding of how to actually do this, right? You hear a lot of our people in this present day, because we've been scattered and we discontinued from our heritage, as the scriptures say, our people constantly and strongly believe that they're what's the word I'm looking for? their country where they're born is their nationality, so to speak. So say for example you were born in America. A lot of our people strongly believe to this day, because they were born in a particular landmass, that defines their nationality. And no, that's not the case. Your nationality is defined by the seed of going back to your fathers, right? When you read the genealogy of Yahushua, it goes into his fathers. He was of the tribe and the lineage of Judah, right? Judah being one of the sons of Jacob, right? Um, so let me just read a little bit of this here. This is Exodus chapter 12. Let me just jump straight to the point. Just bear with me. Okay, I'll just start at 5 just to establish some context. And it says, your lamb, going into the Passover. This is, your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and you shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it in the evening, and you shall take of the blood and strike it on the 2 side posts and the upper doorposts of the houses wherein they shall eat it. Verse 8, and it says, and they shall eat the flesh in the night, roast the fire of and unleavened bread with the bitter herbs. They shall eat it. Eat not of it raw, nor sodden at all with water, but roast in fire his head and his legs with the pertinence thereof. And you shall let nothing of it remain until the morning, and which remaineth until the morning you shall burn with fire, right? So these were the instructions that the Lord was giving us in regards to keeping, the Passover, right? So this is where, our people in their spirit, they kept a lot of these customs. And one of the things I've noticed is that, speaking with a lot of Israelites, that they may not have known that they were Israelites, but there were a lot of things that they kept in their spirit that they still do without actually knowing the knowledge of they are of a particular seed line. They are of that stock of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? It also mentioned another thing here in regards to the sprinkling of the blood, right? Because that also is written in the book of Exodus. Let me just get that real quick, because our people, we discontinued from our heritage and we scattered into multiple different corners of the earth. And one of the places we scattered is where present day Africa is, right? So Exodus 24 verse 8, and it says, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, this is the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words, right? So we made, a covenant, with, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? And that covenant was only made with the children of Israel. The scriptures say that they have not dealt so with any other nation, right? This is not a universal covenant, like they teach in the Catholic Church. When you go into the word Catholic, it goes back to the Greek Catholicos, meaning universal. It's not, the Bible is a very, very exclusionary book. It's only dealing with a specific group of people. It's not for the whole world to partake, so to speak, right? Let me get that actually. Because scriptures say to prove all things. This is Psalms 147 verse 19, and it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. right? So in the AMP it says he declared his word to Jacob, his statutes and his ordinances to Israel. He hath not dealt this way with any other nation, and they have not known, understood, appreciated, heeded, or cherished his ordinances. Praise ye the Lord, right? So these other nations don't know the Lord. This is a very exclusionary, you know, heritage and bloodline, right? The Bible is not it's not a it's not a 7-Eleven where everybody can come in, basically, right? So I kind of wanted to bring this up because I know that's something I noticed that a lot of our people, who are of that stock, I know they keep particular customs. When you go into the manners and some of the customs of these different tribes where we got scattered, a lot of these different tribes, practice a lot of the things that you find in the books of the laws of Moses, right? And they keep these particular customs, even to this day without actually understanding that they're of that particular seed line, right? So since I mentioned the word scattering, let me go to, one of the curses here. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And it says, "And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth and even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, and which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." So that's one of the things that happened to us as a people because of our disobedience. We got scattered, into multiple different, directions, right? So after the destruction of 70 AD, upon the temple, they sacked the temple, those Edomites, those so-called Romans, and a huge chunk of us, a bulk of us, fled into the interiors of Africa. But one thing I've observed also is that a lot of our people kept certain things, certain customs, so to speak, right? And then the further away, like the more we went into captivity, there was a lot of things and a lot of information that got beaten out of us, right? Let me go to this one here. Just bear with me. Okay, this is First Peter's 1, verse 1, and it says, "Peter, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through the sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and the sprinkling of the blood, Yahushua HaMashiach, grace unto you be multiplied." So what I wanted to do was to get that word in regards to the scattering. Just bear with me. This is where's that word? Just bear with me. Okay, this is the word. Let me see if I could just play it. Right, so here it says diaspora or diaspora. It says it says a scattering, a dispersion. It says of Israelites dispersed among foreign nations, and that's exactly what happened. We got dispersed, amongst these other nations, amongst these natural Gentiles, right? In Acts 2, it describes you had Jews that were coming from all these different regions, right? Because they knew about coming back to Jerusalem, to actually, keep certain customs, keep certain festivals, keep certain high holy days, right? So that was something that's ingrained and it was put in our culture, but we fell away from our customs, right? We discontinued from our heritage. And one of the things is that, in these latter days now, through we have the our apostles and elders, and that spirit of life coming back into us. Things are being kind of shaken up. Those bones are starting to, like, shake up, referring to the house of Israel, right? And then we're standing up on our feet in great boldness, right? Because we have that understanding put back in us, right? Because we were dead, for a significantly long time, right? So let me get where is it? Okay, this is Revelation 11, verse 11, and it says, "And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of life the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them." Right. So this is one of the reasons a lot of these nations are mad, right? Especially characters, low level characters like vocab. We know that spirit of life has entered into us. Going back into our forefathers. Um, excuse me, what's his name, Abba Bivens, and him teaching the men that were under him, and trickling down into our apostles and elders, right? During that time of like 1969, right? And now we're coming back into the remembrance of knowing who we were, right? And understanding why we're in the condition that we're in, right? We discontinue from a heritage, which also even proves that the people in the land are not the real people, because they claim that they always knew who they were, right? And the scriptures say we would discontinue, like I was just bringing out earlier, right? So I guess I'll go to Baruch and I'll just close it off. I didn't want to make the lesson too long, but oh, okay, this is Baruch 2, verse 29, and it says, "And thou speakest by the servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write the law before the children of Israel, saying," verse 29, sorry, "If ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall turn into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. For I knew that they will not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." Right. So, in this present time in Babylon the Great, aka America, we're remembering ourselves, and you're having Judah and Ephraim being reunited, together. And there's that vexation is starting to slowly disappear, right? Through our Lord and Savior Yahushua Hamashiach, who's tearing down, what's it called, that partition, and actually rekindling, the nation, right? So it really starts with him, right? So, anyways, I guess I'll just leave the lesson there, but you know sincerely praying, hopefully this lesson was edifying. I just thought I would bring out this little nugget, here, considering it was it's Passover, right? And just to show, a lot of our people, strongly cling to these different bywords, and there is no connection, there is no rich history to these different bywords that they call upon themselves in, right? There is no heritage, there's no culture, tied to these different bywords that they call themselves, right? The scriptures say that how has the gold become dim, right? You call yourselves, and all these different bywords, they're simply just dimming Jake's vibration, right? there's no legacy or inheritance or anything that's tied to these different bywords. So, anyways, I will stop ranting, but Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. Just like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Until next time, I say Shalom.